Did you know that Hollow Knight was originally supposed to have an area called the Snail Village, which was located in the resting grounds, with an NPC called Shelly and a baby snail which lived with him or in him, I'm not sure. Anyway, according to one of the game devs, William Pellin, both the snails were put into a big pixel grinding machine and used to pave the roads of Harrowest, and therefore they both were not included in the final version of the game. I know, very sad. The Snail Village was one of the main features of the Weird and Wonderful World trailer, and although it was tragically cut from the final game, a lot of information about the Snail Village is available online on sites such as The Gamer, the Hollow Knight Wiki, and Game Rant. The snail was considered a little bit too cartoonish in comparison to the overall art style of the game, and therefore cut from the final version of the game, as confirmed by R.E. Gibson in the following statement. Snail was too damn big. I guess it just got forgotten along the way. Looking at it now, it's a bit toonier than the final game ended up being. Bardoon in Kingdom's Edge is likely the game's final version of the snail. R.E. Gibson. For those who don't know, Bardoon is that really big caterpillar found in Kingdom's Edge whose butt you keep whacking for no reason other than that you want to hear that satisfying sound. Okay, enough butt whacking and back to the snails. Another reason why the snails might have been cut from the final game was because the encounter with them did nothing for the final plotline about the infection. Speaking of the infection, the snails were somehow immune to the infection, but more on that later in the video. Now we're moving on to what we know about the snails, and I might make up some really dumb theories that all the lore experts can make fun of me for in the comments. But anyway, here we go. First of all, the assets of the Snail Village can still be found in the game files. So the main things I could find were that, number one, I don't like doing research. The first thing I found out was that the snails' houses were definitely their shells. You might be thinking that was obvious, and to that I say, I don't really care. Another thing I found out was that since the snails can talk to the night without going crazy or attacking the night, I'm led to believe that the infection has no effect on them. Either that or the snails are too brain dead to get infected, but I'll go with the first theory. I theorize that the few uninfected snails went to make a home in the resting grounds away from all the infected bugs, kinda like how Bardoon lives at the top of Kingdom's Edge away from all the infected bugs, and Bardoon is the final version of the snail, so it makes sense. At least more than the brain dead theory. Lastly, I'll be discussing why a snail village might have been a good addition to the game. Snails are already very important to the game in the snail shamans that give the player all the spells that are very important to accessing certain areas of the game. So it just makes sense for there to have been a place for all the snails to live. But I guess you just can't get some things in life. So in conclusion, snails are cool. Shout out to Atstal. Go check out his channel. He does Call of Duty mobile content in case you're interested.